Namaskar. So now we are seeing a new Cold War between US and China is on open platform. Yes, neither the China nor the US wants to say as a Cold War, but there are the vibes in the market, and everybody feels that the Cold War has started between the two countries. So you can see before the pandemic started, there was a trade war between US and China, tariff and all everything. And now with the pandemic and the virus coming out from a Chinese lab, and US is blaming China for this virus. So the before the pandemic, the bad relation between the China and US was there, and now due to pandemic, the fight between the two has gone to a certain extent that it has paralyzed much of the world. The pandemic, which has paralyzed most of the world, has already started Cold War between the two countries. You can see how the things going on by Trump's US President Trump's always says that Trump administration will cut off all relationship with China. Even you can say the Republican senator are pushing some sanctions and new legislation aiming to punish the Chinese people, the Chinese country. Even the US government is openly blaming China for this virus. Even a research company, Pew Research Center survey, it's a research company in US, that research survey said that right now the Americans are so much anti-China. The Americans are so much anti-China, which was seen in 2005 when this Pew Research Center was first started its business. So these are certain things which gives a vibes that the Cold War is what means it's not going to be a war between the two countries. Physically, but it's going to be talk of war, trade war, and tariff. If US is doing this, China will do that, and etc. So this has already begun. But that can be seen from the way the Trump administration giving the speech or conference every day against these Chinese people. But one thing needs to be seen, that some angry in Washington, in some people also believe that due to the election which is approaching in I think in the last month of this year, there will be election in the US. So Trump administration is blaming the Chinese people and doing all this stuff just to divert the attention because of according to them, the mismanagement which Trump administration did because of the virus. US, according to the opposition party, the Trump administration could not manage the situation properly, and they were against the lockdown, and because of Trump, the number of death or number of patients are increasing in number, increasing high in number in, say, New York or other parts of America. But at the same time, you will see that countries, because the difference between the two countries, like rather two giant like China and US, now the world is going to divide between two. Some countries will support China and some countries will support US. Even you see that the effect of there are some countries who are with alliance partner with US government has already started changing their FDI norms, foreign investment norms. We have seen Austria, we have seen India. These are certain countries who have changed their FDI norms. Even we have seen how the 65 countries are telling WHO that that the investigation needs to be done, that from where this virus has come. It has been more than it's more than 4 months, but still we are fighting that whether it has Chinese lab is responsible for that, that, or the US officials, army person who has come into China for some joint operation in the month of September or last year, they are responsible for that. So Trump administration, US is having a problem with China before the pandemic, and now US has got an opportunity to strike back China hard because because of the pandemic, the virus has come from Wuhan, that everybody knows. Now it has been now US has got all the opportunity to grab China properly, and I think China is in a big trouble. Because one point of time China will have to prove that that this virus has not come from China. Yes, we are seeing everything on television, that how the data has been mismanaged in China, how the death rate was high. US is telling the death rate is much higher in China than in US and everything. So as a whole, we can see Cold War type between the two giant, China and US, has already begun. Yes, they don't name it as a Cold War, but everybody can understand how the FDI rules are changing so that the Chinese people cannot invest in other countries in like Japan and India, where the stock market, where the shares are in lesser price due to the pandemic. So in near days, we are going to see more and more trouble between the two countries, between China and US, and hopefully this difference between the trade war, because see, China and US both are a giant country, they are a big country, and if the trade war happens between, if there is some kind of trade war, or you can say a Cold War or ego war starts between China and US, it's going to affect the entire globe, the entire economy can be affected. So hopefully in near future we will be seeing more aggressiveness from the Trump administration. Even the US person, even not only US person, even 65 countries are around the globe are responding. 55 big countries are blaming, are pointing out finger towards Chinese people and Chinese country, and the Chinese people, one day or other, they will have to prove that they are not responsible for this virus. So let's see what happens in future. If you like my video, please subscribe my channel. Please like my video, comment and share. Thank you very much.